Hi there, my name is Jeremy Cady. I'm with Compass Realty, and we're going to continue on with the video series that we're doing. The goal of this is to show the local metro Atlanta area that in-town Atlanta and some of the amazingness that's there has moved uptown, okay? So our brokerage serves the north metro suburbs of Atlanta, specifically Cumming, Alpharetta, Johns Creek, and Milton, those areas. And today, we're going to do another amazing interview at an awesome, brand new opened restaurant here in Alpharetta called Lapeer, okay? So if you follow me, we're going to walk here behind the bar, and we're going to show you guys some amazing drinks and some amazing food selections. But first, I want to introduce you to someone, this guy right here. This is Cody Brown, and he is going to tell you kind of the story of the restaurant and talk about what we think are some of the amazing drinks and some of the best oysters that are served in the area. So let's talk about, what the heck is Lapeer? Why is it here? What's the story?
So Lapeer is kind of a brainchild, three years in the making. Louis had the idea for an upscale seafood restaurant in Alpharetta that really never existed before this.
It totally doesn't exist.
We wanted to put a focus on sourcing of quality ingredients, of working with local purveyors, and of bringing high quality, really fresh food to this area where they don't have to drive to the coast to get it. Right. We're bringing fish out of the ocean that have been swimming sometimes the same day, which is incredible.
Unbelievable.
And we thought initially we wanted to pair it with clear spirits. So we were thinking gin, rum, tequila, and we thought mezcal. It's a trendy spirit these days. It's something that's not a lot of people know about, but I think if you fast forward 10 years, mezcal is going to be where bourbon was 10 years from right now. So it's something that, people are getting into it. And so we have more mezcal than anyone in Georgia. We've got 129 bottles right now.
Holy moly.
People, there's a lot of misinformation around mezcal. People think that it has mescaline in it. People think that there's got to be a worm in the bottle. All mezcal is agave distillate, right? Tequila is actually a kind of mezcal that comes specifically from Jalisco, made from Blue Weber agave. Any other agave distillate in Mexico from all the other states generally is known as mezcal. Mezcal has to be 100% agave distillate. Tequila only has to be 51%. So in some cases you have mezcal that's a higher quality product than tequila. And then the only difference flavor-wise is that mezcal, the piña, which is the heart of the agave, they take it and they smoke it underground in what's called a palenque. It's a conical oven. And when it's smoked underneath,
unbelievable,
it's taken out, mashed, fermented, and distilled, and it retains that smoky characteristic. And that's why some people will say maybe mezcal tastes kind of like a scotch and a tequila had a baby. That's kind of where that comes from.
Let me ask you.
Yes.
Can we make this cocktail?
Let's make this cocktail.
So let's get the details going. Tell us how it's made.
So we're going to make a Sunburn Sour today. So we're dealing with mezcal. We're going to do...
By the way, I've had it, and it's amazing. So anyone that watches this, tell them what they need to order.
So order a Sunburn Sour.
Sunburn Sour.
And this is an egg white cocktail. So you're going to have to be okay with that. But the egg white is it's harmless. It's just going to add some froth and velvety mouthfeel to the cocktail. We're going to start with mezcal. We're doing 1.5 ounces. This is Banez. This is a Joven mezcal, and this is a fantastic product for our house mezcal. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of Banez mezcal.
So how many people come into the restaurant and have never had this but come back and start getting it?
A lot. We've had a lot of repeat mezcal drinkers here, which is fantastic.
Check.
That was what we set out to do. So yeah, it's working.
I love it.
We're doing 1/4 ounce of Aperol. Aperol is just an Italian aperitif, most famously known for an Aperol spritz. Then we're going to do 1/4 ounce of Luxardo Maraschino liqueur.
And by the way, all of this, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah,
it sounds amazing.
It sounds good, right? That's all that matters.
And it tastes amazing.
We're going to do a little bit of lime juice, about 1/2 ounce lime. We're doing a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. And then we're going to do 1.5 ounces of aloe vera, which is where the name Sunburn Sour comes from.
Is it really aloe?
It is really aloe vera.
And that's drinkable.
That is drinkable. It's got a little bit of sugar content. Kind of gives it a really kind of smooth, almost slick feeling, like how you'd feel if you were to break open an aloe leaf.
Right.
We're going to add 3 dashes of orange bitters. Bitters acts really like salt and pepper in a cocktail will for food. It just ties flavors together that may not really work together without it.
Absolutely.
So we're going to shake this guy.
Every cocktail needs ice.
Every cocktail needs ice. You want to shake for about 10 seconds. You want about 30% water dilution in every cocktail.
So I promise you, anyone that watches this, they will come for this cocktail because of the way you explained it. It's amazing. I was actually here a few weeks ago, and I had never had one. The lady sitting next to me, she said, "Hey, you have to try this."
Yeah.
I will get this every time.
I love it. That's what I want to hear. Now, the second shake, we're doing what's called a reverse dry shake. We're gonna add egg white now afterwards.
That's unbelievable.
Right? And we're gonna shake this part with no ice.
So again, the goal of doing this is, I know I said this a couple times, but I really want to highlight what's happening in Alpharetta. And
right.
Obviously, everyone can make a drink, and oftentimes you get some of these cocktails in the bigger cities, but
right.
It is a big deal that this is available in the northern suburbs of Atlanta.
Yeah, it's great that we have a burgeoning little cocktail scene here in Alpharetta with Holmes and Coalition and South Main and ourselves, where you can go and get high quality ingredients prepared correctly in a beautiful environment. And I think that's what people go downtown for the most part,
100%.
To go out and have cocktails.
Yep. So if you come down here on a Friday night, if you don't know where Alpharetta is, and anyone that stumbles on this video, you know, if you come down here on a Friday night, this place is 100% packed, and that's not, you know, earth-shattering stuff. However, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, this was pretty much a ghost town with these style of cocktails. So again, wanted to highlight it. Look at that.
Absolutely.
It actually foams.
It foams. So that's where we get that really pretty froth from, is from that little bit of egg white. You don't need much. We're gonna take a peel of an orange and express it horizontally over the top. It's gonna give you a nice little brightness when you go to take your first sip, and rub the outside of the peel around the glass and slide it in. And that is,
I think that's an Instagram moment.
your Sunburn Sour. IG worthy right there.
IG worthy, absolutely.
Thanks.
So
cool.
Again, we want to talk about some of the cocktails, but again, this is Lapeer Seafood Restaurant.
Yes.
And it's
Seafood Market.
Seafood Market. It's located right here in Alpharetta, right off of Main Street. Tons of different restaurants in the area, but the goal for doing this is bringing some awareness, like I said, to the local area. Obviously, the housing market is doing really well. Lots of people are moving to the area, but you have to ask why people move.
Yeah.
Obviously, schools are a big thing, but if I'm living in an area, I want to live and eat and drink and be merry in amazing places.
You don't want to
like
have to
this.
leave every time you want to go get a drink or a great bite to eat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to switch gears just a little bit, and Cody was amazing. He brought this amazing cocktail to life, but we are going to now bring in the executive chef here at Lapeer, Blake Hartley. He's prepared for us an amazing dish, and I am not going to at all even attempt to talk about it. So he's going to introduce himself, the restaurant, and talk about what this is.
Awesome. Welcome to Lapeer Seafood Market. We have here our snapper crudo. We work diligently on sourcing throughout the Gulf as well as the East Coast, bringing in whole fish formats. We work on breaking down those fish each and every day, catching them at their peak as far as freshness, keeping things very hyper seasonal. Right now we're kind of in early summer, so we're bringing in the snapper, cross-utilizing that for the entree portions, and then for our cold section of our menu, we actually take the crudo, compress that with a little lemon oil, some local fennel from Levity Farms. We also have Grant Wallace's nasturtium, flowers as well as leaves, and then we actually finish this entire dish with freshly grated horseradish, little Espelette powder, and flake salt from Jacobson's salts out of Portland, Oregon. So really keeping it very local, highly sustainable, and super fresh.
That's awesome. So if you were to rate this dish, is this one of your most popular?
This is one of our go-tos. This is going to show up on our cold section, but also our grand style plateau with oysters and some other crudos. Yeah.
And if you look at a dish like this, I mean, obviously it looks amazing. I've had some of it. It's incredibly good.
Yeah, we're trying to pioneer freshness for the area.
Pioneer's keyword.
Yeah, with sourcing and making sure that it's humble, approachable, but there's levels of flavor. You know, we start with lemonade aioli on the base. You've got this nice, luscious snapper that we've taken, diced, tossed that with citrus, and then the pepperiness from the horseradish, I think, really rounds out all the flavors to this. So,
that's killer.
It looks very simple, but again, a lot of depth.
Absolutely. What is the busiest night of the week for you guys?
Oh man, things kind of gear up for us Thursday, approaching the weekend.
Sure.
We work on educating our staff on what fresh fish we're bringing in for the weekend, and just kind of go from there. Finesse
Do
through.
you do reservations? Do you require that?
We do reservations. We're open for lunch, dinner, and then we have 2 brunch services on the weekend,
That's
both
important.
Saturday and Sunday.
That's cool.
So that just kicked off a few weeks ago. We're really happy. We're doing some house cured and smoked salmon
Absolutely.
with a fresh bagel. So come check that out.
That's cool. All right.
It's all those little details that kind of make the big picture.
That's exactly what I was just going to say, is the little details. And so basically we'll end the video there, but again, if you want to test out some of this amazing seafood, and I've had some of the oysters. They're amazing. They're huge.
Absolutely.
$4 an oyster.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this restaurant is it's right on a little green space. It's downtown Alpharetta. Parents can come in here and hang out and eat. Kids can be running around outside. We're excited to bring a video like this to life and talk about Alpharetta. So I'm Jeremy Cady. I'm with Compass Realty. We love the North Metro area. Our office is right here in Alpharetta. Sprague Hartley. And you're with Lapeer, and I thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Have a great
super
day.
day. Thanks.
All right.